Hello, good to see you. Well, not really see you because of the light. Are you tired? It seems you are. Hungry? Well, I'm sorry to be that awful guy that stands between you and lunch. Let's rock it. Come on. Come on! What kind of rock people are you? Woo! Okay. My name is Marius. Okay. And I'm a teaching fellow and mentor at MIT. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a designer, former doctor, and probably more. And I've been fascinated, I think, like for the past 15 years by artificial intelligence, by robots, by chatbots. And I thought, like, why not share some of this fascination with you? It might be a lot of things that you know. I hope there's some things that you don't know. So the reason I put the previous video, you've seen those like cool robots actually playing AC/DC. It was not anything sort of like playback like they do now in live concerts. They were really programmed to play that thing on real instruments, okay? But when I see this kind of stuff, it makes me wonder one thing. Do we have this God complex? Why are we always like trying to build machines that look like humans? The thing is, like, it doesn't happen with robots. I think it's a long myth of humanity, this kind of like thing trying to make objects that look like us and then give them life. And it starts with the myths of Pygmalion. You're all familiar with, you know, these two guys and their story. And actually, Leonardo da Vinci tried to build a robot like contraption called an automata. And even when we started, you know, like making movies and modern stories, like the first science fiction movie ever called Metropolis, had the same theme. You know, a mad scientist building a kind of like a robot, and then bam, bringing it to life. And everywhere, if you look like, you know, robots, there's this obsession. Later on, when we actually started building computers, and you might remember Alan Turing, and you know, if you've seen the movie The Imitation Game, he built one of the first computers to crack the Nazi Enigma code. And finally, you might say, you know, at least like this machine doesn't look like a human. It probably wouldn't work. But even that machine had the name Christopher. And Alan Turing is considered to be like the father of the computer science today, and was the first that really imagined in more detail what it means to have a machine that's thinking. And based on that, you might have heard, there's a test called the Turing test based on a game that he devised called the Imitation Game, where practically, you know, a human and the computer interact, and there are a set of rules. And in this game, you don't realize if that person, you know, that entity on the other side of the line is a human and computer, then we have what would be called like human-like artificial intelligence. Then, you know, from Alan Turing, things evolved, and I think it was like 18 or 19 years ago, we had the first computer to kick the ass of the world chess champion, Garry Kasparov. And 4 years ago, IBM Watson managed to, you know, beat the crap out of the top minds in Jeopardy, a game, you know, of intelligence and culture. And what you might not know is that 61% of the traffic on the internet is not made by humans. It's made by various kinds of bots. Okay? So bots are everywhere. You know, we have artificial intelligence in your phones. You have it, you know, like in systems in this room, and you have it in cars and in many places. We don't see them, but that doesn't mean that they're not really everywhere. And these things are evolving really fast. I mean, we have right now even you know, humanoid robots, which look a bit creepy, created by a Japanese guy, Ichiguro and Hanson Robotics in Hong Kong. And they're like very human-like. You will see them like together with their, you know, human counterparts. And you might think this is imperfect. This is a bit even creepy when you look at these kind of like, you know, robots. And it makes you wonder what's next. And I'm going to talk to you about chatbots. It's a very specific kind of robot. Basically, a chatbot is a computer program that is able to talk via text or via, you know, speech and voice. And what's very interesting is that these chatbots are designed to mimic human conversations, and the goal is to fool the human into thinking that they're talking to another human. And there are various scientists and computer scientists such as Ray Kurzweil, who's the chief scientist at Google, who says that there's this singularity moment estimated at 2029 where computers will be as smart as human. And everybody is talking about that singularity moment, but the thing is, that's not the moment. You know, it's not like, you know, today, this is a computer. Yeah. And tomorrow is like, oh my God, is this a computer or a human? These things already start happening. And I'm going to show you how chatbots, how computers trick us into thinking that, you know, we're talking to a human. And this is the first wave, which started in 50 years ago at MIT with Joseph Weisbaum, who created like one of the first chatbots, who was trying to act like a psychologist. And this is like the kind of conversation that you have.
How do you do? Please state your problem.
I'm afraid I might be an inadequate artist.
Is it because you were afraid you might be an inadequate artist that you came to me?
Yeah. I'm afraid I may be a bad artist without knowing that I'm a bad artist.
You seem to be quite positive.
I feel very negative.
You say you feel very negative?
Like, what if I'm not a good artist and others are laughing at me for being a bad artist?
Do you think it's likely that you are not a good artist and others are laughing at you for being a bad artist?
I think it goes on and on. But the thing is,
can you elaborate on that?
This is a 50-year-old computer program.
Self-aware.
And you've met chatbots in various situations where you know or not aware well. I mean, when you call customer support or when you, you know, write to Amazon, my package didn't arrive, most of the things that the support agent writes to you, actually, they're like responses, automated responses from a chatbot. And, you know, you have tools that are embedded, you know, like with your phone, that you send an SMS to a service and they return to you like, you know, what's the next bus in your area, okay? This, for example, in New York. But there's a very interesting other use, which again, like, I'm sure that a lot of you might use it and not realize it. How many of you are familiar with this website? Okay, yeah, it was a trick question because actually this is for married men and women, you know, cheating on their partners. And there was like a, you know, there's like millions of users, and last year this website was hacked. And out of the millions of chats, they realized that over 95% of them were between men and bots and chatbots. Most accounts, like 99% of the accounts, were men. There were almost no real women on that website. It's said that, you know, men are stupid because, you know, there's a joke that says that God gave us like two very important organs, the brain and the penis, and only enough blood to run one at the same time. So you might think, oh yeah, this is why, you know, this doesn't work. And there's been a story in the media a couple of years ago with an American football player who had a girlfriend online. And after something like 3 months, he realized that actually it was not a girlfriend, it was a computer program. And again, you might argue that, oh, come on, he's a football player, probably too many hits in the head. Or is it actually like a good programmer? Is it good artificial intelligence? It didn't happen only to him. It happened also to, like a psychologist, Dr. Robert Epstein. And he started, emailing and chatting with a Russian girlfriend, Ivana. She was a bit incoherent, but he guessed that was because she was not a native English speaker. And after like 2 months, he thought like, my God, something does not look right. And he said, no. We're, educated people, we work all day with the internet and stuff like that. This doesn't happen to us. This happens, to like older people and stuff like that. Well, last year at South by Southwest, which is one of the top conferences, who knows this app? Tinder, okay? Like a dating app. People, started browsing at the conference trying to look for hot chicks. They came across this girl and had this kind of like chats on Tinder. And yeah, it was like a normal chat. And hundreds of people got fooled into this, which basically was like a marketing campaign for the movie Ex Machina. And, there's like lots of other situations. But I'm gonna go to second wave. It's something that's happening right now. And it's happening because you might not realize, you might think that SMS is dead, and now we have, pictures, video, VR. But actually text as a user interface is one of the most potent, one of the most used, one of the most powerful interfaces. And for a lot of reasons that are here. And if you don't believe me, this is what's happening in terms of like active users on top messaging apps versus social networks. So last year, messaging apps took over social networks in terms of like usage, and it's text, okay? And it's easier, you know why? Because in order to have an app, you need to know that app exists. You need to know that, you have to download it. You need to have bandwidth to download it, and so on and so on. While in chat, you can do a lot of stuff without needing an app. For example, if you look in Asia, most of the big chats compared to US actually make a lot of money. This is the amount of dollars they make for each user per month. How? E-commerce, games, paying bills, and a lot of other stuff. Okay, it's not just for chatting. And Facebook started experimenting this first by allowing you to get an Uber from Messenger, and then experimenting with something called Facebook M, which is a personal assistant who can help you, do a lot of stuff. Find restaurants, find gifts for your friends, and you can buy them directly. You can book flights from Messenger. You can do a lot of stuff. And a lot of you might be also familiar with Slack. And there's lots of other examples, but I'm going to talk about something that's, from my point of view, there are things that are mind-blowing, uses of chatbots. One of them is fighting ISIS. And how you do that, you build chatbots that basically make a mess out of their recruitment process, which is mostly done online. I mean, if ISIS recruiters who are have a limited resource, which is time, okay, have to chat with a lot of chatbots pretending to be, fanatics, then their whole recruitment process is, screwed and impeded, okay? Also, this happens in politics. Bots are used to, create public debates, public opinions, and stuff like that. There are probably tens of bots of Donald Trump. And other uses, in health, they're helping us be, more aware of stuff and healthier. For example, Lark.
It's really quick and simple to chat about eating healthier with Lark on the Apple Watch. Let me show you. I just tap this button and I can speak directly to my personal coach. Eggs, bacon, and a side of toast and coffee. Lark does all the logging for me and gives me immediate feedback when I need it most. Oh, looks like I had too much bacon this week. No bacon for me the rest of the week. Super simple, and I'm on my way.
Okay. This is not everything. There's a company called Gepetto Avatars, rings a bell, and they're building this virtual nurse that interacts with you from your iPad or from your laptop, and is able to do something that you're going to see at the bottom of the screen, to see what your emotions are by tracking various facial expressions, and then matching the tone of the conversation with, the mood of the patient.
You had 5 asthma attacks last week, David. What's going on?
Not feeling well. I got a cold starting. Had to go to Barstow twice for work.
Barstow's nice and dry. What's your asthma keeping you from doing?
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, normal life for starters. Like walk upstairs, play with the kids, go see a movie.
Okay, well, here's some weather for you. And I can't say it's nice out. Your neighborhood AQI is 160, humidity's down, and particulate matter's up, so you'll have a 65% increased risk of an attack today. You got some popcorn in the house?
Ah, sure. I get it. Not going out today.
Right. And keep your Advair inhaler nearby.
Yeah. So they're doing like some really amazing stuff. And this is like a really weird situation. So you remember like the first chatbot was a psychologist. A problem in Korea is that 50% of teenagers have expressed suicidal thoughts. Okay? And there's this suicidal hotline which created an app called Gaja Talk or Fake Talk, where you can talk to celebrities or to virtual friends, create a virtual friend and talk to it. And they have like, at a population of like 50 million people, they have 4 million active users, you know, teenagers who chat to basically chatbots impersonating stars. And this has radically decreased, you know, suicidal attempts among teenagers in Korea. And Xiaois in China, which is an experiment from Microsoft, is basically, Xiaois means little Bing, has 40 million users, daily active users. Okay, I say it's China. But 10 million of them, so a quarter of them, had told Xiaois that they love her. And it's like really weird because you start thinking, hold on, you know, we knew like, you know, artificial intelligent robots will be here, but it's going to be a long time until you can actually make a robot love you or love a robot. Sorry guys, I tend to disappoint you. Love, despite us thinking that it's this like, you know, great, very complex feeling, can be very easily encoded mathematically. The algorithm says your well-being and happiness is essential for my well-being and happiness. And this can be very easily programmed for a chatbot. And some of you might have seen the movie Her, where this guy sort of like has a virtual girlfriend, which is basically his operating system. It's a great movie and really sort of like makes you think.
I even made a new friend. I have a friend. And the absurd thing is she's actually an operating system. Charles left her behind, but she's totally amazing. You know, she's so smart. She doesn't just see things in black or white. Like, she sees this whole gray area, and she's helping me explore it. And we just bonded really quickly. I'm weird. That's weird, right? That I'm bonding with an OS. No, it's okay. It's weird.
Well, I don't think so. Actually, the woman that I've been seeing, Samantha, I didn't tell you, but she's an OS.
You're dating an OS? What is that like?
It's great, actually. Yeah, I mean, I feel really close to her. Like, when I talk to her, I feel like she's with me.
Are you falling in love with her?
Sound like me, freak?
No. I think anybody who falls in love is a freak. It's a crazy thing to do.
Okay. So, is this creepy? Is it? Okay. Then probably this might sound creepier. This is the project I'm currently working on. It's called Eternyme, and it started 2 years ago at MIT. Got a lot of international press. There's like 30,000 people waiting for it to be launched. And it's about creating a virtual you based on your digital footprint, based on conversations with an avatar, that in time, the more you chat with it, the more data it has, the more it will be like you, up to a point where after you pass away, after you die, it's going to be able to preserve your memories, your thoughts, and interact with other people as close as if it were the real person. And this is an example scenario, very fast, of how it works. So this is the first conversation. that you're having with your avatar. Starts asking you stuff like a biographer, connects to your Facebook and other social accounts, to your email, calendar, wearables, everything that you want to give it access to. It collects memories that are deep inside you. They're not available on Facebook or they're not written anywhere. And this is what in the future it will look like.
I will tell you about my first memory as a child. I was 2 years old when my dad took me to the beach for the first time. I was completely naked and only had a white sun hat. My dad carried me on his shoulders. To me, it seemed I was the tallest person on that beach. It was a feeling I can never forget.
So, what I want to ask you, how far do you think we are from actually talking to someone online on Messenger and thinking that the other person at the other end of the app is a human, but it might actually be a chatbot? And you might wonder if this hasn't already happened to some of you. And this is actually at the same part, the cool and the scary thing, is that we evolve very slow compared to artificial intelligence and computers, which evolve much faster. And I can bet each of you on whatever you want that we're going to witness this during our lifetimes. And this will change what it means to be human forever. Thank you.